get a new fire, like you how, and I know we need to go slow, but we could go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tyla, and as you can tell by today's title, I will be doing a tutorial for this dress that I made right here. So I did make it a little over a year ago, and I kind of forgot how I did it, so just bear with me. It might not look the exact same, but it'll still come out cute, so you guys can follow along with me to make your own version of this cutesy dress. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we have to choose our yarn coloring. We have to choose our yarn color. So I'm going to go in my handy dandy box of yarn that I have that's like filled to the brim and find me a nice little color. So I'll be right back. Okay, so the yarn I picked out were these. So I don't really like this color scheme. I honestly just picked them up from Joann's because Joann's was closing and I wanted to get yarn before they closed, so this is what I came up with. So yeah, and plus I don't want to buy any new yarn because I'm trying to get rid of my yarn, so I can't go and buy new yarn. So I'm gonna have to just use these, and hopefully that'll be enough. I don't remember how much I used originally, but we are going to find out today. So once you get your yarn, you are going to need to find your hook, your measuring tape, because you're going to be doing some measurements, and what else? Oh, your scissors as well. You need scissors, and yeah, your patience as well. Okay, so I have my, what are they called again? Hooks? No, these are, what are these called? I forgot. Dang, I forgot what they're called. But anyways, I have these. I have my scissors. I have my pen with me because I want to write down a pattern. The first thing that we want to do is take our measurements. So what you're going to measure is your chest area, your waist, and your hips. And I'm going to measure mine and write mine down. Okay, so to take your measurements, it's fairly easy. All you have to do is like wrap your tape measure around you, or if you want to have someone else help you, and just measure it to where, you know, you get back to the one. So now we're going to start on the top part of our dress. So that top part would be like the neck and then like the V shape that comes down to make our dress. So we're gonna get started. And also I do want to give credit to, I think her name is Nikita. I want to say it's like Nikita Nightingale on YouTube. I first learned how to do that halter top from her, and it was really simple and easy, so shout out to her. Okay, so the hook size that I'm using for this project is going to be a 4.2 millimeter hook, and right now we're just going to chain as many chains that will fit around our neck. So I'm going to do that, and I'll let you guys know how many I chain. And now I'm at 50, so I'm just gonna put it on my neck to see if it fits. And it does. It's kind of like loose. It's kind of loose. 50 is like a little loose. I think you want it to be like a little tighter around your neck so that it fits like perfectly. So then I'm gonna take out a few chains. Now I have 45, so let's see. Okay, yeah, so I think 45 for me is really good, so I'm gonna write that down. So for you, you just make sure that it fits comfortably around your neck to your liking. So yeah. Okay, so for this first row, we are going to chain 2 and then skip the first 2 stitches and then single crochet back down the row. Okay, so now that we finished our first row of single crochet, we are going to chain 2 and then we are going to skip 1 stitch. So this first stitch, we're going to skip it, and then we're going to double crochet into our second stitch. Chain 2s do count as a stitch, so we skip that first stitch, go into the second stitch and double crochet there. And we are going to do this for, I'm gonna do mine for 5 rows. Yeah, so you can make it as like as many rows as you like, but for me, I'm gonna just stick with 5 for now, and we'll see how that goes. So just continue doing your double crochets down the row for how many rows you like, and then we will get back into our next row when you guys are finished. Okay, so we are going to keep continuing to double crochet down the row, and once we get to that end, we will do the same thing again. We will chain 2, then we will we will chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and then continue double crocheting down our row until we get to our desired length for, or not our length, but our desired rows for our neck piece. Okay, so now that I have finished my 5 rows, you're just going to put it around your neck to see how it fits or whatever, and it's cute. So right now, I finally figured out they're called stitch markers. I knew that, but I'm not sure why I didn't say it, but stitch markers. So after that, we're going to, so now you can use your stitch markers to like mark out how big you want your halter top to start. So if you want it to be small, then you start like put your stitch markers where you want it to go. But for me, last time mine came out a little bit too small around like the bust area, so I wanted it to be like a little bigger. So I started off really small in my first dress, so now I'm going to make it a little bit wider to start out with, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to place my stitch markers where I feel is best for it to start off with. So I'm going to put one right here and possibly one like right here. So you do it to your liking. Okay, so for mine, my middle piece is going to have 18 stitches in the middle. And for these two end parts, they both have 12 stitches. So you count yours to make sure that it's even on both sides, or like somewhat close to even, so that your top can look the same on both sides, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So after you completed your rows, we're going to detach our yarn and then grab a new piece of yarn and attach it back to where your first stitch marker is, and that is where we're going to start our next row. Okay, so now we are going to start our increase rows. So you are going to chain 2, turn your work, and you are going to increase into that very first stitch. I hope you guys can see that. So that very first stitch, you're going to place 2 double crochets, and so your chain 2 counts as an increase. So you just chain again into that same exact stitch, and we are going to we are going to crochet down the row again until we reach our last stitch, and we are also going to place 2 double crochets in that stitch as well, because we are increasing now to make our halter top. Okay, so this is basically the same thing we're going to be doing until our top reaches like this part of our body. So it's going to keep doing the same thing until you get onto that part. Okay, so right now I'm at the end of my row, so I am going to chain 2, turn my work, and then I'm going to increase into, oh my gosh, the camera angle is terrible. Let's try from this way. Okay, so we'll try from this way to see if it's better. Okay, let's focus. Okay, so I am going to increase into this very first stitch right here. I hope you guys can see it, just like that. So that very first stitch, you see how we have 2 chains in it, increase. So then we are going to double crochet down our row, and then when we get to our very last step, I will show you guys what I do there. Okay guys, so at this point, this is what my top looks like right here. You can see, real cute. So once you put your top on, at this point you can either put your stitch marker in the back to make sure it holds, just so you can try it on, or you can sew a button on it or whatever. But once it reaches like to your sides like this, then you are good to go. If you want to keep continuing with increase rows, if you have a bigger bust, then you may do so. But for me, I'm going to probably do 2 more rows of increases and then stop. And then after that, we are just going to do regular rows until you reach like down your middle part of like to where your hips almost start. So we're going to do that, and then I'll be back to show you guys what mine looks like. Okay, so once again, after you finish your increase rows, you are going to chain 2 and just do regular rows from now on. So what that means is you'll chain your 2, so you start off with this chain right here, and you will not go into this first stitch, you will go into your next stitch, because if you go into your first stitch, then you're still increasing. We don't want to increase anymore, you just want to do regular rows. So you're going to continue doing that until we reach our lower half of our stomachs. Okay, so we chain 2, flip our work. This first stitch we're not going to go into, instead we're going to go into this very next stitch right here, and double crochet, and continue double crocheting across the rows until you get to the end, and then you just repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, so at this point we are right here. So what we want to do is make sure our top fits. So you can go ahead and try yours on, make sure it fits. It's kind of coming up on the side right now, but we'll fix that later once we go down the sides with seam crochet. But it's right here. So from this part, this is how the back looks. So you can't connect the back right now. What you want to do from here is crochet a chain long enough to go around the back to connect it. So using the chain that's still connected to our hook, we're just going to crochet a chain long enough to reach to the other side. I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. If they don't get a lead within the first 40 minutes. So right now I have 40 chains, so I'm going to try it on to see if it'll connect to this part. You don't want it to be too loose, but you also don't want it to be too tight because you have to remember that you have to actually fit into it. So I'm going to try this on and then I'll show you guys how it looks when it's on. So as of right now, I have chained 40 chains. Okay, so at this point, I've put my chain around and as I said, I made 40, so mine fits. And it goes around my waist as well, so like the widest part of your hips, like it should go around your butt. So make sure when you put it on, you can put it on from your butt, like it's gonna go from bottom up. So you're not gonna put it over your head, it's going from bottom up. So my 40 chains, they fit around, so it fits perfectly. So from this point on, I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do. So we're gonna grab our stitch markers again, and we are going to put them where our hips are, because at that point we are going to make sure we increase so that it will fit over our hips and it'll fit comfortably. So I'm just going to add my stitch markers to where my hips are, and every time we get to that one stitch marker, I should probably change this color. Every time we get to that one stitch marker, we are going to increase there. Okay, so for our first round, I hope it's going to make sense. We are going to just crochet in the rounds. So this chain that we made, we are crocheting from where we hooked it into all the way around, okay? So from here all the way down this chain, back around here again, and we are going to increase every time we reach that stitch marker that we put for our hips. So do that for 3 rounds. Do not forget to increase when you get to your stitch marker. We ended our last row connecting this chain to our other side. We are going to start going back around this side. So where you place your hip stitch marker at, you are going to place 2 double crochets into that stitch. So just like that. Then you are going to just continue to keep working until you reach the other side where your stitch marker is at, and I will meet you guys back when I get. So we made it back to our stitch marker. So in that same stitch, you are going to place 2 double crochet. And then you can move your stitch marker up if you like. I'm just going to leave mine probably because I know where I need to increase that. So I'll probably just leave mine. And then you're going to keep continuing to crochet along this line right here. And you'll make it back to this section. So I'll show you guys when I get back there. Okay, so we made it back to the first part where we did our increase that from our first stitch marker. We're just going to slip stitch into that. And then that will be our first round. So we are going to do 2 more rounds the exact same way. Okay, so I just lost yarn chicken. 1 skein of yarn will make you this much. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to end off here and we will continue making this. Hey guys, welcome back to part 2. I think I'm going to end up doing this in 2 parts because I don't want to overwhelm you guys and the video will be mad long, but we'll see. But anyways, yesterday we left off on our 3 rows after we connected that chain to the other side of our dress. So from there, after in row 4, after that row 3 up, like you're just double crocheting each round and then increasing in your stitch marker, you are going to do 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to do an increase. So 1 double crochet in one, the next stitch increase. Then you keep doing that until you get to your magic marker, your stitch marker. So from there, we are going to, I hope this is like beginner friendly. Like I really hope it is. I hope it's not like a lot to kind of comprehend. I hope it's easy for you guys. If not, then I'll be able to like help you guys out or whatever. I do want to be able to help people do crochet stuff, so if I'm moving too fast or if I'm like not showing enough or doing it too fast, then you guys just let me know in the comments and I will work on that. Okay, so we ended on row 5 for me. So for this round, we are just going to slip stitch into that chain. You're going to chain 2, and in that same stitch, you are going to double crochet again. So you will have 2 stitches in that stitch. So from this round, we are going to do 2 double crochets and then increase into that 3rd stitch. So again, we do 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, in that 3rd stitch, you are going to place 2 double crochets, and then you're going to keep doing that until you reach to your stitch marker that you place early on. So keep doing that, and I'll meet you guys back. Okay, so for the most part, I think the tutorial will be kind of easy. At least I hope it's easy for you guys to like, comprehend and see like everything that I'm doing, because I don't want to be moving too fast because this is supposed to be like beginner friendly, you feel me? And I do apologize, right now I only have my phone to vlog on, and I don't really have like a good tripod to do like different angles, so that's why I'm doing it front facing and not like backwards sometimes, because you can't really see what I'm doing when I'm facing my camera backwards because I'm like really close to the camera. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get better at that and giving like different angles so that you guys can see actually what I'm doing, so that you can follow along with me. But I think for the most part, this tutorial should be pretty easy because it is kind of like so forward, especially the top part. Like the skirt, I think it'll be a little bit more confusing maybe, but it's mainly kind of the same thing. Like we're literally just increasing in every single round just to make the skirt like bouncy and stuff. So I think it won't be too confusing, but I don't know. Right now I'm just rambling. Yeah, but I'm gonna finish this part and then I'll come back and show you guys what I got. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of shocked at how many people on my TikTok wanted like a tutorial video, because I wasn't expecting it to get like that many likes, honestly. But you guys really kind of like tricked me into making a tutorial, because I literally said I was never going to make that blue dress again because it took so long. It took so freaking long to make, especially the skirt part, because I wanted it to be really bouncy. It took so long. But thank you guys for encouraging me to make a tutorial, because I did want to make the dress again. I just wasn't going to make it anytime like this soon. So yeah, I really do hope you guys like enjoy the video and that you understand, so that you make your own version of it. And I can't wait to see like everybody's like final piece and what colors everybody make. I think that'd be so cool to see. So I really do hope that this video does get a lot of views. Like even like 20 views is like fine. 20 views and like let's say 15 likes, I would be happy, because I really like crocheting and I really like helping people make their own things. And yeah, so okay, so now we are on row 6. So you are going to, I'll check this out. When you come back to this part where you have to slip stitch, you are just going to crochet that and then slip stitch into that first chain, chain 2, and then go back into that first stitch with a double crochet. And there you go, there's your increase. And you can place a stitch marker if you like, so you know where to slip stitch back to, and then continue on to your rounds. And once you get back to your other one, make sure you place an increase in there as well. So for this round, we are going to do 3 double crochets, 2, 3, and then increase into that 4th stitch. After your row 6, you are going to be on your row 7. And at this point, throughout the row, you are just going to increase whenever you feel like it. It really doesn't matter anymore at this point, because it's up to you. How many times you increase is how bouncy your skirt will be. So it just all depends on what you want to do. The only part that you have to decrease on, have to increase on, is the part where you put your stitch markers for your hips. So that's the only part you have to increase on. You cannot skip over that, because you want to make sure that it fits over your hips. So make sure you keep increasing on that part. And yeah, make sure you always try it on. So if when you try it on, your increases are good to get on your hips, then you're fine. You don't have to increase as much anymore. You can just figure it out as you go. So continue on with your skirt part and have fun. Lighting, but I am currently on my third ball of yarn, and my dress is like almost reaching to my butt, but not really. So I'm gonna add like a lot of more rows so that it can be full. Yeah, so it's been a few days, but we are still back. So I think we ended off with just doing our skirt part, and once you get to length that you want, then you're totally fine. I got to my length, so I'm good. So after, you are going to single crochet back around your top part until you get back down here. So just single crochet down this part, over the neck part, and down this side. Also, you guys want to add a drawstring to your back too, so I just made mine. I just did a lot of chains and then just weave it through the back of the skirt so that to make sure it stays up. So this is how your dress will look once it's completed. This is how the drawstring looks in the back. Super, super cute, super tea. So when I said you want to single crochet down here, you can absolutely do that. If you want to do 2 rows, by all means do so. I am just going to add a drawstring from here to the back to make sure that it's secure. Okay, so at this part, we're like basically finished with that dress. After you single crochet down the sides if you want to do 2 rows, by all means you can do 2 rows. I just did 1 for my liking, but after you've done that and you add your straps, you're basically done with your dress. Also, you have to weave in your ends. If you chose a different color, like me, you have to weave in your ends. But after that, you're all done and you have your cutesy dress. But like I said earlier on, I really hope this video is easy to learn and like easy to follow, because it's supposed to be beginner friendly. So if you guys have any questions or you need help on anything, you can always either DM me on Instagram on my business page, or you can comment in the comments and I will gladly help you guys out, because I do want to see different versions and different colors of the dress. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more beginner friendly videos.